everybody. I hope you're all doing great today. This is going to be a very different video from everything I've done because I've been asked some questions by some girls, young girls and some women. They want my honest opinion about marriage for some reason. Maybe because I have been married twice. I do have a memorial up for my ex-husband that I was married to for 22 years. And I've been asked some questions. They want my honest opinion because they don't want to get married and they're feeling pressure from family, friends, church, what have you. And so they want me to give my honest opinion on this. And this is strictly, understand, this is strictly for people who don't want to get married and are trying to find a place with that. Those of you that are married, engaged, or want to get married someday, this is not for you. So take no offense by anything I say. This is not against you and what you've chosen. This is strictly for the women who think, I don't want to get married because we are in a different world now. So here goes. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe in marriage. I was married twice. The first time I was a kid, teenager, lasted 3 years. Second time, I was married 22 years, and I should have left that marriage 1 year after it began, if not sooner. But again, the reason I don't believe in marriage is because I do believe that it gives a feeling of being trapped. It gives a feeling of being stuck in this institution, which I call it an institution. And it obviously does not guarantee togetherness for life. Divorce rate's very high. I think it's a very old-fashioned, antiquated institution. It worked years ago when, the husband stayed at home, the mom was, or worked, and the mom was at home taking care of the family, the kids, what have you, which I think that was a wonderful time. That's what I grew up with. And I was a stay-at-home mom, and I'm glad I was. But now, after what I've been through, I realize now I will never, ever, ladies, I will never, ever give that power to a man. And what I mean is, women have worked for decades to become equals, to become feminists, to have their place in the world. Yet they all still sit around waiting for that man to decide if she's good enough to be asked to marry him. Well, ladies, I will never, ever, ever give that power to a man again. No man is ever going to think that he has the power to decide my future in the sense of, well, I think you're good enough to marry, so I'm going to ask you. Hell no, excuse me, but hell no. No man will ever, ever have that power again. I believe that marriage creates a feeling of being like roommates, where you're like, you become so comfortable with one another because you're married. Yeah, it's my husband, it's my wife, I don't have to really worry anymore. And you become roommates. I, for one, if I am lucky enough to find someone to share my life with who has the same views, I will never be in the bathroom with a man again. And you all might think how silly, but it's so true. Think about what it's like when you live with roommates. You kind of just live in each other's life and really don't care. You're just kind of going about your business, I will never have that. When I'm in the bathroom, I'm in the bathroom. I don't ever want to see a man on a toilet again. I don't ever want to see a man flossing his teeth, popping stuff, and brushing his teeth, and shaving, and in the shower washing his body, what I'm talking about, just washing. I don't want to see all that anymore. What seems like it's so romantic in the beginning of a relationship, hopping in the shower together, all that stuff, well, it eventually becomes the old, can I have the water, let me shower, I want to get out, because it does become like a roommate situation. And I think a couple that spends too much time together thinking they have to keep making each other happy because they're married, I think it completely destroys that whole relationship. One of my most favorite couples in the world that I would give anything to meet if I could is Simmons and Shannon. I always used to watch their reality show, and I absolutely love the dynamics between those two. And I really believe that if they got married, I think they'd probably end up divorced. I think it would ruin it. Those two were together because they want to be together. They had those children because they wanted to have those children. He comes home to her because he wants to. She's there for him because she wants to be. They're not tied by a piece of paper saying this is what you're supposed to do. This is how the game is played, so you must follow it. And that's what I want. I want a man when he comes home at the end of the night, it's because he wants to. He wants to be there, not because he's obligated as my husband. When a man does something romantic and wonderful for me, when he treats me well, buys me a gift or whatever, brings me flowers, sends me flowers, whatever, I want to know it's because he wanted to do that, not because he felt this is my job as a husband. Um, and a lot of you might disagree with that, but I'm telling you, nothing would give me more security than to know this man is with me and doing wonderful things for and with me because he wants to, not because it's his job as a husband. I never could have that in my life again, never. And I don't want to be responsible for another human being in the way that, well, I'm his wife, so I have to make sure I keep him happy and I do this and I do. I will never have that again. It's like, honey, accept me as I am, I accept you as you are, and forget it. You know, we either stay together because we love each other, and we have had a long conversation. We have been together quite a while and figured out, can we really work together on this? Can we really stay together? Be in the same place together all the time, not just, oh my gosh, I hope he marries me and I get that ring and we get married and oh my gosh, everything works out. Oh, excuse me, but hell no. I forget that. I want to know that we took the time to really get to know one another, sat down and decided, look, we're going to be together. And honey, if I tell you I don't want to sleep with you tonight because I just want to be alone, I just need my alone time, I just want to be with me, you can sit there and think, okay, no problem, honey, good night, we'll see you in the morning. And vice versa. I want to know that we can keep our individualities, that I don't have to go to his guy movies because I'm his wife and it's the thing to do. And he doesn't have to come to my chick flicks because he's my husband and it's a thing to do. No, I want to know that if my husband wants to go play, or my husband, have it there, if the guy I'm with wants to go play golf. But don't expect me to come with you because you like it, and vice versa. Of course you have to find things together to do together, and every couple does. There's always something that a couple likes to do together. But you don't feel obligated. It's like, okay, maybe you both love to go to an art museum, so you both go. Or maybe you both love to just go to a coffee shop, so you go. But you don't sit there and think, oh, I'm his wife and I have to do this because, no, I will never, ever have that situation in my head again. I could never do it again. And I don't want some guy forcing himself to come and be with me at something that he totally just dislikes, because that's where it begins, guys. That's where it all begins, that obligation of being that husband and that wife. Okay, this is my job. No, I want my relationship with another man that I am living with be, to be happy because we're happy to be together, not because it's his job to fulfill something as a husband or me as a wife. That's never going to happen in my life again. And I want to keep who I am. I want to stay who I am. I want to say, you know what, I'm not in the mood to cook tonight. Sorry, I just don't want to cook dinner. I'm not going to cook dinner. If you're hungry, make a sandwich or go get something. I don't ever want to hear, well, you're my wife, gosh. And I don't ever want to be telling a man either, well, you're the husband, you're supposed to do this. I want to know that he does something for me. Like if, let's say he sees something needs to be done on the car I drive. He does it simply because he loves me and wants me to be in a safe car, not because it's his responsibility and somebody's saying, my God, you're her husband, you're supposed to take care of that car, or whatever, that's a car, but whatever. I don't ever want that. And I'll tell you right now, some of the most insecure feelings I had in my marriage was because I didn't know if he was fulfilling his part of the marriage because of what I've been taught marriage was supposed to be. And so I constantly feel like, oh gosh, I don't even want that again. And when it comes to kids, oh God, that is so outdated and so old-fashioned. Um, when you hear people, well, you have to get married before you have kids. Oh, screw that. I'm sorry, but screw it, to hell with that. The whole thing is, family is who you are close to. I don't care if you're blood related or not. Family does not mean that it's your husband, it's your wife, it's your whatever. It's who you feel close and loved by and who you love. And I would rather two kids not have the stigma of saying, well, my parents are divorced, because we all know how that goes. Oh, they come from a divorced family. Oh, she's divorced. She's a divorced mom. Screw all those stinking tags and things put on us. I would rather a couple of kids know, or children know that, oh, hey, it didn't work out between my mom and dad, but we're still happy. We get along. We see each other. I see him or whatever, and things are good. Then walk around, my parents are divorced, and oh, I'm so sorry your parents got divorced. Oh, screw that. That does more damage to kids than if they just said, well, it didn't work out, but we're still happy, we still love each other. To me, it's such an old-fashioned form of ownership of another human being. No one's going to ever own me, and I don't want to own anybody. Um, I just don't get it nowadays, especially, most women are working. They're not dependent on men, which is what it was. The man went out to work, the woman stayed at home taking care of the kids and the family, which I'm grateful I got to do that, and I'm grateful I came from that. But that's not the world anymore. Most women work. So I don't see the need for marriage anymore. You're not depending on this man financially. Most women, yes, there are still a lot of women out there, and I understand what you're going through. But I know now that part of the biggest feeling of my insecurity in my marriage was I was always unsure if we were meeting each other's expectations of a marriage. Whereas now I know that if I'm with a man, I'm going to be with that guy because I love him and no other reason. And he's going to accept me as I am. I'm going to accept him as he is. And there's no paper stating that this game is supposed to be played a certain way by us because we had made the decision to be husband and wife. I could never carry that thing on my shoulders again. Um, and I know there's going to be a lot of people who might disagree, but that's fine. This isn't for you. This is for those that are thinking, I don't want to get married, whether you're a man or a woman. I don't want that. I don't want that, whatever. But believe me, I believe in monogamy. I do not believe in having affairs and cheating and all that good stuff, which is going to happen whether you're married or not. If it's going to happen, if somebody has that in their head to do it, they're going to do it. So don't think because you signed a piece of paper and you put a ring on your finger that this guy won't cheat on you or this girl won't cheat on you. That is bull. That's a false sense of security. So in my view, it's like, okay, if you're with me and we've made the decision to live together, it's because we love each other. We realize we can be together in the same household. And we're going to be there because we want to, not because in a moment of passion or whatever, oh, let's get married. Okay, sweetheart, it's forever. And then later you're going, what did I do? I would rather know that it was a long planned out, figured out, calculated thing. Like, yeah, we can do this. We can be together. And we don't need a piece of paper because you know what? If a guy's going to cheat on me or he's going to leave me, a piece of paper will not stop it. And if you think it will, you're crazy. It will not stop it from happening, and vice versa. If a woman's going to cheat on a man, she's going to do it. No paper is going to stop her from doing it. So it's a false sense of security. Again, another situation for when that cheating does happen. Oh my God, we're married. How could you do this? I'm your husband. I'm your wife. Oh my God. And there's this whole other ball game that you're starting. Screw all that to me. It's just like, screw it all. To me, it's if you're in a relationship and the other one decides, I'm not happy in this relationship, you can just say, hey, look, this isn't working out. I can't stay with you any longer. And you go your separate ways. Not that it'll be any less painful, but you go your separate ways. But you're not sitting there thinking, oh my God, divorce. We have to go through divorce. Oh my God, everybody's going to think I'm divorced. It's so insane to me nowadays. And I will never get married again. I don't ever want to get married again. I don't ever want to give that power to a man to say I'm worth it whether or not I should be asked to be married. Hell no. It's going to be, do I think you're worth it too, pal? Do we both think we're worth each other, being with each other for life? So those women who are, not wanting to get married, those young girls who are thinking they don't want to go this route, but they do want a companion for life. I do. I want a companion to share my life with for the rest of my life, and hopefully I will find that. But he's got to be that kind of person to where he doesn't want to get married. I don't want some man thinking that because he put a ring on my finger, I belong to him. I will belong to nobody. Absolutely nobody. He will know that if I'm with him, it's because I want to be with him and no other reason. And that's the way it's going to have to be. Or I guess I'll end up not finding somebody. I'd rather be alone than be with a man who feels he has to own me through marriage and through a ring and through papers. I would rather be alone with my dogs than to have a man thinking he owns me and has that power, because I think that sets up a lot of issues in a man's head when they think they have that power, that they were the ones who's decided, yeah, I'll take you, you're mine. So anyway, ladies, I'm with you. I don't believe in marriage. I think it's antiquated, it's old-fashioned, and I don't think it makes a world of difference when it comes to whether or not someone's going to stay with you. So those are my views. I hope you're having a great day. I was honest, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.